Hi, this is Cooking with Miss G, and Mexican chicken soup is on the menu. This is what you'll need to make Mexican chicken soup. 2 boxes of chicken broth, bull-in-the-bag rice, chicken flavored rice, garlic salt, cilantro, Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, butter, and a rotisserie chicken. The first thing you want to do is take your chicken and go ahead and pull it off the bone. Now, I like to put it in this black container, the bottom part, because it has a lot of little yummies in the bottom of it, little fats and stuff that came off of the chicken. And we're going to use that in our soup also, so I shred it and just go ahead and put it in here. Pour our chicken broth in our pot. So I actually got this recipe from my friend Lee Evans. She really liked the soup at the Mexican restaurant here in town, so she decided to make her own version, and she was bringing it to school for lunch, and it looked so good. So I asked her for her recipe, so she gave it to me, and this is it. Now, I did tweak it just a little bit because her recipe was a little bit too spicy for my boys. They thought it was too hot, so I've changed it just a little bit. But I texted her and asked her if it was okay if I shared her recipe, and she said it was perfectly fine. So thanks, Lee, for this recipe. My boys request it often. So I have my chicken broth, and I'm just going to turn it on and bring it to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some pads of butter in. I'm going to put about 1/4 of a cup of butter in. I'm also going to put my Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, and I'm not really a measurer. I just kind of put it in until I think it looks great. So I'm going to put plenty of seasoning in. We love this Tony Chachere's on a lot of things. This soup is one of them. I'm also going to put garlic salt in. And again, I'm not really a measurer, so I'm just going to put some in. So I got garlic salt in. We also put cilantro in, but I don't like to put it in until the end. I like to kind of garnish the top with it. So I'm going to wait on that. My water is at a rolling boil. So I'm going to pour in my bag of, you don't have to use bull-in-a-bag rice. I like to use it because it's already pre-measured. But there's been times where I didn't have any bull-in-a-bag rice, and I just did regular rice, and it was fine. So I'm a big believer in using what you have. So use what you have. And I'm also going to put this package of chicken flavored rice in also. And it has flavoring in it also. So that's going to add some more good flavors to our soup. I'm going to let that boil for a little while, let that get good, let my rice get good and tender, and then we'll put our chicken in, and then I'll show you how to garnish it. Okay, I've let my rice cook for about 6 minutes. It came to a rolling boil. I put the lid on it, and I turned my temperature down to about medium heat, and I kind of let it simmer. You can see that my rice is nice and tender and done. So it's time to add the chicken. So as I told you earlier, I've already deboned the chicken, so I'm just going to put that in here. Now, see all these little yummies in here? I'm going to put some hot water in here and make sure I get all of that put in the soup. wanted to make sure I got all of the good tasting stuff out of here, so I filled it almost completely full with hot water to make sure that it would melt it so I can just pour it in. And I got it all. So I'm just going to mix this together. Now I'm going to add my cilantro. Again, I'm not a measurer, so I just put it in until I think it looks really good. You can see I kind of coated the top. It's got a little bit of green. So I'm going to mix that up, and now I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to bring it back to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to put the lid back on, and I'm going to let it simmer for 15 minutes. I have let my soup simmer for about 15 minutes. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to give it a swirl. You can see that the rice has gotten a little bigger, and all those flavors have meshed together well. So I'm going to bowl it up. And I like to garnish mine with a little pico de gallo. Now, I didn't see any in the store, but I did have some leftover onion from my hash brown casserole this morning. So I just chopped up some tomatoes, and I put a little cilantro in it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on top of my soup. And I'm going to put a little avocado on top. I took an avocado and I sliced it in half, and I just took my knife and I ran it through. So I'm just going to put some of this sliced avocado on top. And Mexican chicken soup is what's for dinner.